Hello everyone. Today is day 19 of 21 days to releasing fear of the future, and we have you have the weekend off, and then we do 20 and 21 on Monday and Tuesday. But this is a great topic, and it was a request of fear that I'm still paying for, like, choices I made in the past. So like regrets over, God, if I had chosen these things differently, oh my God, it would have worked out better for me. So I think we all can relate to this. That's the Punisher, in my view. That's the sneaky, subtle way that the bully beats us up. If I hadn't made that choice. The voice does not have to sound demonic whatsoever. It can sound rational, reasonable. It can make complete sense. If I hadn't made those choices, things would be so different. And the thing is, life is in this moment. And that's easy to say and really challenging to live by, especially being in a body. So this idea, though, that basically I'm punished for what I did. So when that voice goes off and it sounds rational, reasonable, all that, again, I always go back to this. How do you feel? How do you feel when the voice says, oh, it's true. I mean, I have tons of evidence to show that it's true, that if I'd made a different choice, then this would have worked out for me. And that is the bully. The sneaky, sneaky side of the bully that draws us in and is all rational, reasonable, gives all kinds of evidence, serves it up on a platter. Here's the evidence. I'm just doing tough love with you. Love, tough love. That one's always rich to me. It's just tough love. If you'd made different choices, I'm just telling you the truth. If you'd made different choices. But who says that's the truth? Who says that's the truth? And what if those decisions you made that have you sitting where you are now actually are blessings in disguise? Could that not be a possibility? So let's tap and see what comes. So, karate chop. Even though I have so much regret and so much fear now, I think I knew better back then. Yet these were the choices I made. I choose to acknowledge this voice right now. Even though this is the bully in my brain, sounding all adult-like, really mature, maybe tough loving me, just telling you the truth. If you'd made different choices back then, your life would be so much better now. And I feel like crap when I hear this voice. Even though that bully in my brain is so sneaky, because it sounds mature. It sounds rational and reasonable. It's just pointing out my missteps. But I know it's the bully because I feel like crap. I choose to acknowledge this truth right now and go to the if I just made better choices. I knew better. And yet I still made these choices that have led me to where I'm at now. And with the benefit of hindsight, which I didn't have then, I'm now getting beat up for choices I made. Oh, this isn't a beating. It's just tough love. It's just the truth. But I know it's actually a beating because of how I feel. And despite what the culture teaches, I don't think I'm meant to feel bad about my choices. And what if it's possible that those choices were necessary? Maybe my soul chose them for my own evolution. Maybe what I'm meant to learn now is more self-compassion, more self-acceptance, and maybe even giving some loving kindness to myself. What if that's something this is about? That I have to notice that bully in my brain so that I can start to catch it in the act more. When it's sounding really reasonable, really rational, just telling you the truth. And if I am getting triggered by this truth, what if this is the perfect place to consider I did the best I could. Given where I was at the time, given where I was emotionally, given the circumstances of my life, when I made those decisions, at that time back then, they felt like the right decisions for me. And they were. But this is how the bully gets so sneaky. Now here I sit, years later, with the benefit of hindsight, and I'm judging myself back then, right now, from a completely different place, with whole new life experiences. And that doesn't seem fair to me. So what if all this mishigas that I'm swimming in is actually here to help me be kinder, accepting, dare I say it, maybe even loving to myself. Because I've beat myself up a lot in my life. And of course I have. Because that's what the world I live in teaches. But what if today is the day that I begin to open up to more self-acceptance, more self-love, forgiveness of self, even though there's nothing to forgive, and send this part of me that's always doing the best I can. Acceptance, kindness, and compassion. So take a breath. I just think this is something, honestly, that's really come to me quite recently. And I'll tell you my own experience. So I mountain bike. I've started mountain biking again. And I took 2 pretty rough spills the week before last and then last week. And here's some evidence. I've got stuff going on here. And the interesting thing is both spills I took were in the most non-eventful part of the ride. One, I was about 50 yards from my car, maybe 100, coming in, nothing going on. And all of a sudden, my bike just hit this sandy area just wrong and down, like I flew over the handlebars and I came down hard. And then the following week, I was just attempting to move over to get out of someone's way and my bike got hooked on a branch and boom, same thing happened. And what I realized in that is I could go down the rabbit hole of, oh, you're ungrounded. What are you thinking about? Why weren't you paying attention? These are like the most innocuous parts of a ride where your attention can be someplace else. And my mind was like, and the second one's like, I just want to get out of the way. But what I really came to the first time it happened, instead of going down that whole rabbit hole, is, Marti, what if this is happening? So in this moment, you can be kind to yourself. There's nothing you've done wrong. It's not for all these reasons that the ego likes to tell you. The bully likes to feed you a bunch of BS that's like this and that. And it was so huge. And then the second time it happened, I caught myself again starting to go down the rabbit hole. And I went, no, this is where I'm meant to have some loving kindness to myself. And it's made a huge difference in my recovery and all of that. And I say this all the time, and it just keeps coming to me, is learning to be kinder and more loving and accepting of ourselves is really the key to the city. And when we catch ourselves beating ourselves up, making ourselves wrong, well, that's a really good time to come back and go, how could I be kinder and more loving to myself? So Julie, great to see you here. I will get to yours as I get through this rest of this list, and I'll tag you when I've done it. And thank you to the person who sent this in. I think we can all appreciate this, and have a great weekend. And we'll see you back here Monday for day 20 and then Tuesday, day 21. Bye for now.